Come one, come all. You are now listening to the AuxPodcast. Every week, Monday night, hosted by Stilo and Max. Roll yourself up some potent, pour yourself a drink, get yourself comfortable. We finna chill. Hello, everybody, and welcome to a very special episode of The Aux. As always, it's your boy Stilo, aka OG Homunculus, and I am joined by none other than the man himself, Nakama, the fucking goat. Yo, we out here. How the fuck are you doing today, bro?
I'm good. I'm chilling. I'm very much in my zone, you know.
Absolutely.
How about you? How you feeling?
Bro, I'm fucking hanging out, man. I had a pretty crazy week, all things considered. So it's Friday as we're recording this. I'm chillaxing, maxing. I'm in my sweatpants. I'm not on my corporate white man face shit. So, you know, we're up. We're chilling.
We not code switching today, boy.
Not at all, bro. Oh dog, earlier in the week, I'm talking about some. Yeah, we could circle back on that for sure. Like, come on, bro. Like, what the fuck are you doing?
Per my last email.
Yeah, you know, like, shit, bro, for real. But yeah, we're here. I'm chilling. Once again, thank you so much for taking the time to sit down with me. This is coming off the back of the release of one of your many projects, most recent one titled Everything Burns, which is some of the craziest shit I've heard this year, and I'm really fucking excited to get into it. So yeah.
Thank you, bro.
Just asking right away, I like to do my little traditions as I was talking about. What have you been listening to recently? What's been on the menu?
Yeah, I've been hopping around a little bit. I've been bumping Chucky quite a bit. That I Live, I Die, I Live joint is pretty fire.
I haven't heard that yet, actually.
Yeah, it's funny because he definitely, like, from Bloodbath to that, like, it definitely went more melodic and like almost these little like drips and drops of like hyper pop shit that's happening, and I'm just like, wait,
I can fuck with that.
I'm interested in how the formulas are being updated. So I've been listening to that. I've listened to Kumo 99 for a hot minute. Their last joint, Headplate. What else? I was listening to Dead Prez pretty recently. Like, Let's Get Free. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's like,
oh shit,
that lane of, you know, operating within a certain framework, and I think it's like not necessarily NOI, but could be affiliated with like NOI like beliefs. That like sort of interrogating that now. There are these like blind spots that we get to where you're like, oh, that doesn't really like blend with the way that we're talking about things in a contemporary context.
Oh shit. Hold on. Wait.
It's top.
Sorry,
to take nothing away from them, but also just to
your shit cut out for a second there. My fault.
Okay.
No
yeah,
worries,
like, but just saying that, like, to take nothing away from it, but more so to say that, like, when we revisit these works, like, we got to have a different take on the way that we're interpreting the message, you know.
Absolutely. Different time as well, right? Like,
facts.
Yeah. You have to look at it from, like, looking at that shit from like a modern lens, for lack of a better term. It's a completely different scape that we're in, so you can't take it as face value, you know?
Yeah. Right. 100%. Exactly. And then there's also I think the precedent that we set a lot of times with like what we associate with you know, a liberated practice or a liberatory practice, if you want to make it, you know, the like present participle, like going to those places feels good, and it feels like maybe we can revisit them with, you know, new ciphers. Sort of like different standards and shit, and then I go, you know, could swing all the way back the other way, and like I've been like bumping Georgiana low key, you know. so it's like,
it really does.
I don't know,
go both ways, man. Oh, that's fucking gold. That is fucking gold. Yeah, right on, man. Right on. I always love, like, I feel for my listening, at least, like, just as a little anecdote, I tend to listen to a lot of shit that's like more modern, for lack of a better term. Like a lot of my listening is more like recent kind of shit that's popping now. Always going back to like, you know, the fundamentals and the shit that like we grew up on, for lack of a better term. It's fucking nuts to think about it, because like you can hear the time that they're writing in, you know what I mean? Like the way the world is, the way, and like of course there's a lot of, you know, similar issues that are going on, similar content, but like the way that that is flipped over, you know, the last 10, 15, 20 years is like fucking mind-boggling, man.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No, absolutely.
it's nuts, dude. Like I went back to the funny enough American Corruption by Capital Steez not too long ago. And like that project was ahead of its time, but listening to it now, it's like, oh shit, word, like this is the time. You know?
Yeah,
like,
exactly. Like it's crazy that there is that legacy of like the dystopian future that is imagined, and like, you know, the trash and the wreckage and the, you know, resilient band of survivalists that fucking figure it out. Like
yeah,
we that archetype exists in all forms of media, and like we
it does.
definitely have that now, and we're kind of inheriting the actual landscape of it, you know.
And that's
As
why
yeah.
I love Everything Burns so much, because it's like, that's it. You know what I mean? Like we're in that shit, bro.
Word.
It's crazy.
Word.
It's fucking crazy. I'm skipping a whole ahead of myself. Sorry. So right into it. Introduce yourself to my listeners who might not know you. They should at this point, because like holy shit. Let the people know, man. Who is Nakama? What's the shit that you're on? Your inspirations, the shit that you like, all of that.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. What's good? Knock, your friendly neighborhood cognitive conduit.
Yes, sir.
You already know.
Yes.
9 shit. Oh man, we out here. Yeah, I've been a rapper, producer, graphic designer, illustrator, you know, tinkerer, mender and breaker of many things, you type shit. Like
100%.
been on that for a hot minute, you know. I think as far as like my inspirations, shit that I'm into, like world building, I think that's fundamental.
Yes.
I think if you step into my creative universe,
To say the fucking least.
Like,
yeah.
Yeah. And yeah, I don't know. I'm here. Wrestling with the reality of AI slowly seeping into every single thing that we do and think about and say and remember. And I find that capitalistic vampirism is not really my cup of tea.
Yeah,
So we're
it's
trying
lame
to
as fuck,
get
man.
that out of here.
That's
like
whack as hell, bro.
Yeah, but we trying to make it balanced. That's
So
the vibe. That's the vibe. And yeah, I don't know. I guess like other things could come up naturally. I could go on forever.
Yeah.
I'm a tangent type nigga, so like I'm not gonna hold you.
You and me both, bro. Like, oh man, I feel creative minds, for lack of a better term, you kind of have to be, because I think the best forms of art are just tangents in a way. You know what I mean? And like some tangents you run with to the fucking extreme, other them are just, you know, it's cool. It's cool.
Yeah, absolutely.
So getting right into the meat and potatoes, for lack of a better term, it's been about a month or so of Everything Burns being out into the world. Released on streaming, Bandcamp, the whole shebang, everywhere you can listen to music. How are you feeling about the reception? How do you feel that it's off your chest? It's done, it's out? Because to my understanding, you've been working on this thing since like 2022. So after all is said and done, like how are you feeling?
Man, you know, honestly, it feels good. I think just seeing the project out in the world and all the different collaborative threads that have sort of come in through it, like, have really shown me a lot. They've shown me a lot about like, I don't know what it means to take the help of your creative universe, and I'm seeing that a lot of inspiration from the 92C people. I'm seeing a lot of inspiration, you know, in the context of validating what primitive calculus was trying to do in honor of Lester. Like all the things that happened. I don't know if heads may or may not know, but like we lost a very good soldier out in the streets not too long ago, and I feel like
May God
the
rest
best
his
thing that
soul,
we
bro.
could do is, yeah, like we got to honor the fact that like Les is out there and he's doing what he's supposed to do, and Prim made sure that happened.
Yeah, yeah,
Um,
100%.
and so as far as I'm concerned, like just being able to perform this work for them and sort of honor him and make sure that the raps and the performances sound good, like it feels like a blessing, and it's a
Yeah,
release, and it's also a pertinent conversation. Um, but yeah, I feel like everybody's been super cool about it.
most definitely.
Nothing but love, and appreciation and support to all those who supported this. Like
Absolutely,
we couldn't have
absolutely.
done it without that. You
And
know?
it's really cool. It's like you said earlier. It's like the cognitive conduit, right? Like you being able to
Yeah,
channel this and do what was meant to be done with it. Like it's really
yeah,
cool. It's
yeah,
really cool how that's going down. And yeah, like legit everything I've seen. Like I'm not too tapped in with the 92C folk, but like the way that this came about, like everything sounds fucking sick. Like the project itself is crazy, and like paying
yeah.
homage to those who need to be paid homage to. Like it's really incredible shit that you're doing, bro. And everyone in the space who I've heard talk about this shit, like crazy. Like you were on my
Yeah.
radar for some time now, and then Rohan of the Rap Music Plug podcast made a tweet, and then I was talking to the homegirl Kosi as well, and she's saying like this is like an album of the year candidate, and I'm like, oh shit, like yo, I gotta dial the fuck in. And then like listening to the thing, man, like it's shout out Kosi, shout out Ro, big
For
love to Rose,
real.
for real, for
For
real. She's
real.
the fucking homegirl.
Oh my
Um,
god, yo.
it's crazy. It's like getting into it and listening to it is like
Mm,
fucking nuts, dude. Like I work a fucking corporate 9 to 5, right? And
yeah.
it's really funny. I'm listening to this thing while working in like a fucking evil ass industry, and I'm sitting
Oh
there like,
yeah.
oh my god, dude. like,
I'm
and
like,
like,
are my hands bloody
yeah,
too?
bro, trust me, bro. Like, wild shit. And like
Yeah.
I remember I was listening to No Drums, which is like, or sorry, No Flats, which
No
is
flats,
yeah,
yeah.
No Flats. Which is arguably my favorite off the project. And like I'm sitting there like stank
Okay.
faced, just like, oh, like, oh my god.
Yeah.
And one of my coworkers is like, are you okay? And I was like, I don't even know where to begin to explain this to you, bro. Like, oh man, it's brilliant. It's fucking
Oh
brilliant, dude.
man, that's good. You're just
Yeah.
like be like, yo, like I had some really good wings earlier. Like
Exactly.
yeah.
Oh man, just say no conflicts. Like, bro, my nose big like Phineas and shit. Like, it's fucking.
Oh no, that's just what it is. Like, sorry.
Oh yeah, I love it too because like on this thing, like you balance like funny shit like that, and then like
Yeah.
real raw visceral shit so seamlessly. It's fucking crazy. Let me pull up the actual like Bandcamp and SoundCloud and show it for everyone who hasn't listened to Everything Burns by Nakama. You guys need to tap the fuck in. This is like genuinely one of the craziest projects I've ever heard. Someone's calling my landline. That's crazy work.
Yo, that's
Yeah,
wild. The
having a land
landline is
in awards year of
yo.
2025 is diabolical, bro.
That is real, bro.
Oh,
That's some fatherhood shit,
yo,
bro.
trust me. Oh fuck. Okay, I gotta take this shit off of the hook.
Oh,
But
fuck.
no, like real life, this is one of my favorite releases this year.
Thank you.
Sonically, one of the craziest things, and it's self-produced too, which is like fucking what, dude? Like,
Yeah.
holy shit. Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah.
It's crazy. And like, we're not gonna touch on it too much, but there's like 2 different versions of the albums, and like, oh man, you guys have to listen. You guys have to listen to this thing. It's my word of law. Like, you guys need to tap the fuck in. So yeah, like, after hearing this, I went back and
Mm.
pretty much binged everything on your Bandcamp, like all the shit that you have out, and like
Oh yeah.
all of it's fucking incredible. I feel this project specifically is like the natural progression of your style, while also being the most cohesive sonically, thematically, and like it's a much more narrative and conceptual album. as opposed to like your other shit. Like I really like Morning Meditations, for example, where I feel
yeah,
dope fucking album, dope. I feel that was more of like a collection of thoughts and a vibe as opposed to like a whole thing that you're doing with this. And like I want to know where that progression came from, because you've been making music since like 2018, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Yeah,
Well, way
bro. I
before
mean,
that.
even earlier than that,
Yeah,
for real. Like, I
type
had a
shit.
whole ass other name. Like,
Oh shit, right
yeah,
on. Yeah,
yeah. Like,
and we don't
yeah,
gotta leak
definitely.
that one.
Nah, it's yeah. I'll
Off
off
top.
camera.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, bro. Like, I think you're right in saying like it's probably like the most like cohesive sort of full thought. Morning meditations is exactly that. Like even the concept in and of itself, when I was writing it, I was like, I'm gonna be doing a song every morning as I make a cup of coffee, because it was
Cool.
like such a habitual ritualistic thing. And I was like, I need to, as this is when I started to learn about like behavioral pairing, so I could like fight the fucking demon that is ADHD in my
Type shit.
brain.
Type shit.
So,
Yep.
I'm like, oh, okay. So if I write the rhyme while I make the coffee, I'll always want to write the rhyme
Yeah.
because I'm
Yeah.
always gonna want the coffee.
You're fucking
And I was like, all right,
Pavloving yourself.
cool. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
at that point, I'm like, all right, cool. I can accept that.
Mhm.
And I think what I was exploring sonically at that time was, yeah, it was just like different ways of sampling, like, and really
Mhm.
thinking about sampling and what is and is not pure, what is and is not acceptable, what is
Yeah.
and is
Yeah.
not permissible. Um,
Ethical, even.
and that- yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
And like and like that's what Hohenheim's burden, but also was
Mhm.
of
Mhm.
like this is also concurrent with the rise of the whole like Bandcamp Friday shit, like COVID
Mhm.
shit, like all of these things are sort of intersecting, and I think what I was building on was this like very palpable sort of aggression that was muted.
Mhm.
Like
Mhm.
there was always something that was in the music that was like really driving and
Yes.
like
Yes.
angry, but it almost came across as like I'm like a controlled threat or something of that
Yeah.
nature.
I
You
I
know?
feel it wasn't like anger directed at anything in particular, but you felt that
Yeah.
underlying kind of rage to it. And I
Mhm.
feel
Mhm.
where it came to with this project, especially, you can feel it a lot more directed and like pointed
Yeah.
at something, you
Yeah.
know? And
For
like,
sure.
yeah,
For
yeah.
sure. The
Oh,
yeah,
fuck.
the underlying theme of like getting through Honam's burden to get to like
Mhm,
morning meditations and even human error, like
mhm, mhm,
all of that stuff kind of existed in that period of time of me like trying to figure out like who the fuck am I, like
mhm,
as a
mhm.
person, as an artist. I've toyed with the concept of multiple like internal personalities within your universe and like
Mhm,
two
mhm,
characters speaking to each other. And when I started to do the writing exercises that led to Everything Burns, because I've also like experimented in other formats. So like
mhm.
I was thinking of Everything Burns as like a almost like an audio drama. Like I wanted it to be something where you could like just listen to it and listen to the skits and the context and everything that surrounds the narrative
Mhm,
as its own work that isn't technically music.
mhm, mhm.
Has musical moments, but the body of work itself is not music.
Yeah,
That was the initial goal, and then
it's almost like a movie.
I exactly,
Yeah.
and I wanted it to feel like something that would make sense outside of the usual context.
Mhm,
But then I realized like, but it needs a soundtrack, and that's the album, right?
mhm, mhm.
And
Absolutely.
and everything else that comes out of that, TBD. But like,
Of course.
I
Of
like
course.
having fun with the things that I create. So like,
Yeah.
this is gonna be extending into other forms
Other
of
mediums.
art as
Oh,
time
dude.
goes on. Yeah, you
Oh,
know what I'm
dude.
saying? Like,
Yeah.
and and that's the fun of it. That's the fun of it.
I've been I've been reading a lot of Naruto again recently, just because
Hell
like,
yeah.
and like I was thinking the whole universe of Everything Burns would be one of the coldest mangas ever, like ever, bro. Like that shit would be nuts, dude.
Look. I may not be Kishimoto level, but
Hey, man, pretty
but
damn
I
close,
might,
bro.
you know, I might fuck around and do something or something.
You
I'm
know,
not, we'll talk about it. We'll
for
talk
sure.
about it. You
Criminal
know.
Calculus is actually just the Akatsuki this entire time. Like, little do we know. Like,
Yo, no, straight. No, we already got caught in the infinite Tsukiyomi, bro.
yo,
Like,
type shit. Yo, that's so fucking real, actually. Oh, that's incredible. That's fucking incredible, man. And like, that's what I'm saying too. For like, I know so many heads that aren't tapped into this that would fucking love this thing, man. Oh, you're so fucking cool, man. Shit, dude. Oh, I'm geeked.
Thank you, bro. You're cool too.
Appreciate you,
Fuck with the Aux.
You appreciate you, family. And that's what's so sick about this whole fucking underground thing. Is like we're all just making crazy shit and everything's so into it's sick. It's sick. Okay, diving into the album itself. It's pretty heavy or heady, and heavy at times. My interpretation of the thing I believe I've given it damn near 20 spins top to bottom at this point. It's a commentary piece of being a young black man navigating this whole digital dystopia where everyone is kind of not slaves per se, but yes, slaves. It's like new age slavery in the digital age, how we're all doom scrolling and just trying to survive by doing, shit that we don't necessarily want to do, but are kind of forced into that corner. Like you talk about, especially on Next Dance, like shit like, gun violence, robbing, jugging, finessing, etc. Like, and it's such a crazy commentary piece because I feel a lot of the hip hop nowadays can kind of feel preachy at times where it's like, you don't have to do, you know what I mean? On some fucking
yeah.
Started in
the park, yeah.
So glad you knew what I'm talking about.
Absolutely. Immediately, I was like, I know exactly what you're talking about.
But like, you feel me though? Like a lot of shit feels kind of like that one uncle who's gonna get in the cipher and start rapping about the pyramids. And like,
for sure.
The thing that I like so much about this is you're not like condemning anything. You're not making any outward statements. Like in the description, it's everything burns isn't going to tell you who to change your registered voting party or anything like that. It's literally just observation of the world burning around you,
Yeah.
And like, that's why the name is so fitting of Everything Burns, because like, you've been working on this thing for 3 years. The last 3 years have been fucking chaotic, you know what I mean? To say the least. And like, the world that we live in now, I think this is such a perfect snapshot of that. And like, you can listen to it, and yes, it sounds like some dystopian sci-fi shit, but it's like we were saying before, like, we're really in that now,
Yeah.
And like, it's so cool. So cool. So like, I'd like to think I hit the nail pretty on the head on the overall arcing thematics. Yeah, it's just, sorry, I'm a little bit fucking off the sauce a little bit too. I'm not gonna lie to you. I've been
Nah, it's all good.
Yeah.
It's all good. I mean that pretty much covers it. I think a lot of it also is just like acknowledging the multitude of the conversations that are occurring simultaneously. And like, and this is me like I will effectively break character here, like I think we did like 20 minutes ago, but like but it's all good. But like I'm like we're good. We got the clip. It's fine.
Sure.
So now if you made it this far,
now you're getting the real fucking the curtain type shit. Like we're
yes, bro, yes. But like speaking to all of the different like interlocking pieces, we're talking about political violence, we're talking about the sort of romanticization of violence in the way that we even interact with each other and communicate, like on a very like base human level, like why is it funny when someone steps on a fucking rake outside and they get hit in the face? Like, why is that funny? It's funny, but I don't know why it's funny. You know,
it invokes something like primal in us.
Exactly.
You know,
exactly, and much like the development of human history, like what greater advent than fire to change the landscape of everything, right? And like when we're talking about violence and when we're talking about acts of aggression and we're talking about the degradation of like societal norms, things that we at one point believed or subscribed to that now we no longer believe in or no longer subscribe to, or even this contextual swinging from like conservative versus liberal, or however it is that it plays into your understanding of the world, there's going to be some level of attack, there's going to be some level of decay, there's going to be some level of release, and dealing with those cycles,
universe, right?
Exactly. It's that is the natural order. So like dealing with those cycles, through the lens of violence is also to say like, okay, well, guns are crazy, and the way that guns are used are crazy, and the innovations or the technology that we've used to not only create guns but create places for people to talk about guns is crazy. And and it just goes up and up and up and up and up, and it's like to deal with that, to deal with like actual visible viewing of like hundreds of thousands of deaths on a daily basis,
like through your phone too,
straight up, just as soon as you wake up, it's right there, and it's like that's in no way something to overlook. And I think all of these things just sort of barking at each other.
The normalization of it too, man. Like the fact,
exactly,
crazy,
right? And we're sort of forced into that level of desensitization because of how it's pervaded, but also because the ills of the empire are directly responsible for perpetuating the behaviors. But we're stuck in this loop of trying to be informed because we want to affect change. And in a lot of ways, the change that we are affecting is more relevant to like your local communities and people that you're engaging with, or those who you're
speak to.
Exactly. And also, but also the people that you can directly support, whether that be internationally or like 2 blocks over. You know what I'm saying? It could be mom and pop, or it could be donation to a GoFundMe. You know what I'm saying? Like both of those things are valid and are perhaps methods of, dealing with the stress of it and saying, I mean, you're going to take something upon yourself to speak to it. To help someone else's life get better, to help your own life get better, but to ultimately feed towards like a communal net good. And that's, I don't know, that can be tricky from a political perspective.
Absolutely.
And also from just a self-preservation perspective. If you want to, go down that rabbit hole. So when we talk about the violence and we talk about everything being like, absorbed into this shit, it really is a matter of what are you going to do? Like, what are you going to do about it? Which, if you want to like tie it all back to the album, like that's why My Turn is the last song. It's like, it's my turn now because like none of all this shit worked. It's all fucking burning anyway. So now I'm gonna do something. I'm gonna make it
right.
Yeah, exactly. On my Miles Morales shit,
Oh, it's brilliant. Oh, it's fucking brilliant, man. And like, what a way to close. Like, because I feel with the album, it really is just, it's like I was saying earlier, like a snapshot / reflection of everything, because it is everything burning around you, and then the way it slows down with My Turn, and it's just like, oh my god, dude. Like, yeah, it's incredible, man. It's really incredible. And it really is one of those things where I feel like art as a whole can always be, inherently political commentary on social shit, whatever you want to say it. But when you have an album that's like really explicitly putting the lens on that, putting the microscope on that, it's always going to result in some dope shit. You know what I mean? I feel that's why people love, you know, your Billy Woods, your Arm & Hammer, your that kind of shit. And like, I don't know if you listened to Lou and Ratman Gavin Scrolling Through the Doom from earlier this year.
Yeah.
Like,
shit was he
same kind of realm too, you know, but like going at it in such a different way, and going at it in the way that you went at it, I think is like like fucking wild, man. Like,
yeah,
a little anecdote, because we're both tangent ass niggas. Like, I was a computer science major when I went to college, right? And I graduated right at 2020, right when the pandemic hit, and then also right at the beginning of the boom of AI, you know? And seeing the way that the landscape changed in terms of like that, and also how normalized, you know, like Chat GPT and like niggas on Twitter at Grok, what does this mean? Actively fucking contributing to polluting the water source and you know what I mean? Like, what? It's
dude,
nuts, dude. And like, I think it's really important that there's art being made that talks about this shit and deals with this shit, because like, dude, like, dude, like, it's fucked, man. Everything is burning and we're just here. We're just here, man. Like,
bro, it's like, I don't know, it feels like the prelude to the maniacal laughter, you know? Just the like screaming at the sky, like just laughing for no reason.
Because there's nothing else to do. Like, we're really in like the most absurd fucking timeline ever. And like, here we, like, the US government is like, shut the fuck down right now because we have a fucking fascist pedophile who's the president. Like, what are we doing, man? Like, it's crazy, dude. And like, I'm Canadian. I'm looking at this shit from the outside, but like, I'm still part of this whole system in some fucking sick, twisted way. And it's like, oh man, it's nuts, dude. It's nuts.
Again, this is the world that we've inherited, and I don't want to like say that there's nothing that we could do, right? because that's also part of it. This is why I made the fucking album, honestly, is because we get into these conversations where we maybe make assumptions about the depth of what our answers could be. Or to say that, like, to do something as simple as to organize a conversation between two folks to discuss art, right, is something that there's going to be people who are going to hear this and they're going to be like, oh, yo, I'm glad that I listened to that conversation. That echoed something that I was thinking about. I'm going to go finish that thing now. Like, that to me is doing something. And maybe in the context of like, like I can't get the thumb out of office. You know what I mean? Like, I was like trying to like what? How do I? But yeah, like being able to say like I may not be able to do that exactly, but I could certainly do enough to signal boost good information and make sure that the people who are doing the work in all forms and all points of influence, which is like kind of going back to this like idea of like conjunctural analysis of like whatever part of society that you exist in, whatever point of influence or whatever job that you have, there is a thing that you can do to hold yourself accountable to improving the lives of others and making sure that imperialism as a whole is not allowed to have a chokehold on people's lives. Following that principle is saying that, like, as an artist, as a teacher, as somebody who might be working with incarcerated youth, as somebody who might be an engineer, as someone who might be a doctor, whatever the case may be, like, you have a way of advocating for human life and not giving in to empire's bullshit. So
without a doubt,
take that upon yourself. And that's kind of where that's where like I would like to think that like the art becomes an offering too. So it's not so much not doing anything as it is doing something that you know actually will have an effect.
It's literally like that. You in the description of the album, you have this one excerpt where it's like, it's documenting the linguistic and conceptual evolution of a life worth living, when external forces suggest that life is hardly worth anything at all, it really is one of those ones where you can give in to the doom, but you can also go out of your way to whatever you do make the, like, on some fucking kumbaya shit, like, every day you can really make a small difference in making shit better and making people happy and smile, you know? It's wild. I used to work at a GameStop, and like the amount of times I'd have families come in and like I'm just on some bullshit, like talking about Pokemon cards with them, but like that's making people smile and that's giving people an impact, you know? And it's like,
absolutely,
it's the little things like that that I think are so important about life that people kind of forget about and people don't really do anymore, you know?
yeah,
It's wild, man.
yeah. I mean, it's definitely got that, like, Calvin got a job. Hey, Calvin. Like, it's definitely got a little bit of that in there, but it's not a bad thing, bro.
Yeah.
I promise. It's okay. Like, be a little corny, bro. Like, go get some ice cream, my nigga. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, and
that's frying me, man. Yeah, 100%. Though we have to be a little bit of corny. Corniness is rooted in joy, man. Like, oh my god,
embrace it, embrace the corn.
Yeah.
But again, at like moments like that, like just being able to laugh about some dumb shit like that, like I'm like, okay, this is what this art does. Like, this facilitates people being able to like find some place to like maybe in a way grieve, maybe in a way reflect on their own choices and the shit that they're doing. And like I know that's what it was for me. Going through I was going through all types of shit, fucking moving around and like just relationships and trying to rebuild my sense of self and what I was doing in the world. Yeah, you know what I mean? Like just life shit. And like and I found that, you know, music was always a refuge for that. And a place where I like built a lot of connections and bonds with people, like genuine friendships that I know of like have and will last the test of time. I'm like so grateful for that shit. And
absolutely,
you know, that's again that's the real cognitive conduit shit. It's like
type shit,
just being around for the local conversation, you know, and being able to have something cool
and like
to offer.
As crazy as it sounds, on a more like global scale, for lack of a better term, too, like I know Twitter is Elon Musk's apartheid goon cave, but that's a crazy way to phrase it.
That's wild.
But
I mean, apt description, but
crazy way to put it for sure.
Yeah.
But like the fact that we have these communities online, and like, yes, of course, there's some fuckery that goes on there, but I feel especially like hip hop heads and like hip hop creators, rappers, producers, like everyone is on that same kind of mission, and like we wouldn't be speaking right now if not for that. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
and like
absolutely.
It's a bit of a double-edged sword because Twitter is apartheid goon game, but
like,
yeah.
The fucking guillotine over your head every day.
Bro, I wake up and check my notifications and the dread just settles in.
Sweating.
Fighting for my fucking life. But at the same time, it's such like a beautiful thing because it goes back to like the support and the community and like a more global kind of thing, you know? It's nuts.
Yeah,
it's nuts.
Absolutely. Yeah. I was gonna say, bro, yeah, just like shout out to Gavin, like you know, shout out to
Gavin.
Mary Sue, like shout out everybody everywhere for real. Cold light, like I mean, bro, like
we could go on.
We're all over the fucking place. I know we're all over the fucking place, and like, and it's beautiful because like we can still have these dope, like you know, like sort of like connections and like sort of like cognitive fucking beehives. You know, we're like processing some shit that like for better or for worse, you know, this discourse and the way that it's documented is going to impact a lot of the way that like music as a whole moves forward as in the realm of hip hop. And like we're in this like weird transitional period where like this new thing, whatever it is emerging, and like maybe drill would be the most like contemporary, like recent example of like the next drop in the formula, and it's now being molded into something else. We have like a completely new lane of things to wrap our heads around. So like taking in everything else that existed before that, plus that, to now be able to communicate with people millions of miles away.
Yeah.
In an instant, like it's lit,
nuts.
you know.
It's nuts.
But it's also dangerous. It's lit, but it's dangerous.
Absolutely, man. Because like, oh man, I have cousins in the Dominican, right? And like,
yeah.
My little cousin is like listening to Pop Smoke and shit, and I'm like, bro, you're 13, man. Like, chill the fuck out, bro.
Yeah, bro.
And like,
yeah,
it's beautiful in a sense, but it's also like, what the fuck, you know?
I'm saying, bro. Again, like, look, I was having a conversation with one of my relatives, and she has an older son, and she was talking about how like I don't use this term, but like she describes it as, you know, YN culture, right?
Yeah.
And what that looks like and what that is, and it's like looking at like 21, 22-year-olds pulling out more money out of their pocket that you've ever seen in your life at one time.
Yeah,
And you're just like, what did I do wrong? Like, you're just like playing it back, like, wait, hold on.
Surely the timeline could have been different, right? Like, surely.
But I was just building with her about that and how like the culture, like, it's not really that different, like from any other time that it's been, at least when it comes to the resistance of a popular narrative placed upon a specific or like more than likely specific demographic of people.
Yeah, 100%.
Then when you talk about TikTok, like, you know, right?
Like,
yeah. And exactly, and the incubation of it and the accessibility of it. I don't, you know, if you're going to get into the whole, like, obviously blackness is not a monolith, but also there are boundaries and sort of like ways to protect the autonomous identity of blackness.
Yeah,
if that makes sense. Like, there are certain lines that it's like I can't necessarily let other people dictate certain things to me.
Oh, 100%.
Whether that, you know what I'm saying? Whether
in Norway commenting on, you know what I mean? Like, yeah.
Exactly.
100%.
Exactly. You know, it's like you don't know shit about this. And even if you did know shit about this, I doubt that you would have the same response because you're not backed by the epigenetic experience of it. And you're also, even if it were something where we're talking about class, it's always going to be within the context of like, what is your means like towards access to the resources that you need?
Yeah.
And then what is your belief in the institutions around you? Because if you work with it, right, if you work with the institutions around you, you're fed, so to speak.
Yeah.
You're sated. You're, you know, and if you don't, if you're antagonistic to it, or you don't believe in it, or you don't ascribe to the values that other people do, you're going to be ostracized. You turn into a pariah. You turn into a rebel, right? And it's like, and we play out the whole cycle of like, you know, the marginalized person that then finds refuge somewhere else, and then doesn't have the same exact tenets or values that kept the other people that they left alive and safe. Now, are they right or are they wrong? I don't know. It's
That's
not
really
my place to determine.
Right?
Exactly. But the point is that the formula changes and it continues to change, and we do, in fact, lose kind of like the concrete way of adapting to being in this state. What, as you know, young Black people, and as cats who have to figure out ways of surviving police brutality, figure out ways to survive like the lack of food resources, discrimination, all the other like psychological stigmas that get attached, social identity shit that gets thrown into it when you like get to a certain age, like
absolutely.
So myriad factors. You know, we could talk about it all day, but like when we're handling all this shit, it makes sense that there will be young kids that are just like, I don't give a fuck. It's like your prefrontal cortex isn't even like developed all the way. Like,
care. I'm gonna go get some money. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Yeah. And like, and then on top of that, there's a genuine like, you know, sort of lasting impact of violence being enacted against one another for so long that like you don't even You didn't even question it. You didn't even
Yeah.
think about like why you have to like why if somebody said something disrespectful that why it had to escalate to someone dying or why it had
Yeah.
to escalate to someone being stabbed. Like we
Absolutely.
didn't even address that part most of the time.
It's
So
almost the norm in a way, right? Like
yeah,
it's
yeah,
and that's
absolutely.
fucking crazy. Like, you know, all things considered, really
Yeah,
taking
and
like the lens, for lack of a better term, like really breaking that down and dissecting that. It is fucking insane that that is like a common occurrence, all things considered, you know? And like
yeah.
maybe I'm just a kumbaya ass nigga, but like we can't just like fucking figure this out. Like,
Right. And again, and but this is where and
mhm,
this is the line that I was trying to toe with the album is
mhm,
like I don't have an answer for every single person. You
mhm,
feel me?
mhm,
And like the best that I can do at this moment with the agency that I have is like draw people's attention into where they operate within this matrix of things.
mhm,
If you're
mhm,
the type of person who wants to go and speak about guns or gun control or the 3D printing and modification of weapons and what
mhm.
that might imply in the future. And like, do you see? Have you seen
Fucking
these burners? The burner joints, the non-lethal joints, and I'm like, I'm seeing billboards for these, and I'm like, but we're also having this like gun control conversation where people
mhm.
are like up in arms every day because like one side wants to, say like we don't need them at all, and
Yeah,
then
yeah.
others say, okay, let's be a little more nuanced,
Of course,
and
of course. And it's a nuanced
and again,
conversation to begin with, right? Like,
precisely.
yeah, because like we don't have to get too into it, but like you can have your opinions on guns. At the end of the day, they exist in the world, and people are going to use them. And you know what I mean? Like, uh,
Yeah, exactly. And then
mhm.
ellipse.
Yeah,
Like, and
exactly,
that's where
exactly.
just on some like mindfulness shit. Like, we can acknowledge that you can't win a war
Hmm.
if you don't have the tools for a war.
Hmm. Hmm.
So,
Hmm.
if you say that you're in a war,
Then
ellipse.
exactly, exactly.
So,
And it kind of makes me laugh because a lot of the times these interviews, um, I have some people who kind of listen to this in like the background and they'll be like, "So, I'd be tapping back into the conversation. What the fuck are y'all talking about? If y'all listen to this album and then come back and listen to this, it will make perfect sense why we're talking about this shit, bro. Because like, yeah, yeah, it's wild, dude.
yeah,
And the
man.
fact that you are able to dissect all of this and tackle all of this in a project that's about like 40-45 minutes in runtime and
Yeah.
like fucking hats off to you, brother. Like, oh my god, dude.
Oh, thank you, man. No,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
appreciate
It's
that.
crazy, dude. And like it's one of those
Yeah.
things too where I feel like in today's landscape, like I like a lot of like we're talking about drill music, for example, right?
Yeah.
I like a lot of drill music. It goes kind of
Yeah.
crazy. You know what I mean? I'm in the gym, I'm gonna hype myself up. I'm you know, I'm going crazy.
For sure. For
But
sure.
the fact that what sells is Black Death and the perpetuation of this cycle of violence that, while yes, I understand it is necessary in some instances, we're not working towards a solution, you know? And like who am
Yeah.
I to say what that solution is? Who is anyone to say what that solution is? Because at the end of the day, shit works different for everyone. But like
Yeah.
it's just fucking wild to think about, man. And like looking around at
Yeah.
the world around us, everything is burning. Listen to
Yeah.
everything burns. Listen to everything burns. We're bringing it back. Crazy.
but no, that to that point, yeah,
Mhm,
like I think with the idea that we are, I don't know, sort of like engaging
mhm,
to, to affirm ourselves
mhm,
that
mhm,
like our lives are worth living, but we're talking about killing each other.
mhm, mhm. Like it's normal
If
too.
How do you acknowledge that? How, like, you know what I mean? Like, how do you actually acknowledge that?
Mhm.
And because of how paradoxical it is,
Because it's
I,
easy to do.
I Yeah, it's super easy to do, and it's also like sad that it's easy to do because you've effectively objectified the black body in that way, and that it neither living nor dead changes the way that you perceive it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Which is like
that's fucked.
Total mind fuck.
That's
total mind fuck.
Yeah.
But then you're like, okay, but if I look at it as an art form for what it is, like sonically, arrangement wise, that shit is so hard, bro.
It's crazy, man. I went back. This is fucking nuts, but there were some clips of 6ix9ine hitting my timeline recently. Bro, I went back and listened to Gummo, and I'm like, this is the greatest song ever made. Why did we let that Mexican man say nigga? Why did we let him? But that shit went fucking nuts, bro.
Dude, I mean, there's a whole lot of questions that we can ask about that situation and why we let a lot of things happen that precede him.
Real as fuck.
But that has like, not like yes, from a sonic perspective, like it's so fucking potent, and I think I think respect, like this is where my respect for it comes from, is that like I'm hearing flows I've never heard before. I'm hearing fucking like decisions that are being made where like the instrumental is literally a fucking like drawn out church bell for like 8 seconds straight with no other percussion, and then a fucking car crash happens, and then the loop restarts, and I'm just like, what? Like what just happened? What?
That's so real.
I love that. That's so cool.
That's incredible. There's this one
you
song,
feel moved by it.
I don't know the name, but he took the Swamp OST from Majora's Mask, the Zelda game, and just rapped over it. Like no changes, no nothing. Just straight
That's hard.
That shit went crazy, man.
Tough. Yeah,
It's
but
nuts,
exactly. And okay, so then now, like, you know what, this era that we've inherited, the hyper violence, the objectification of the body, and of the body, living or dead, as having the same or slightly different significance, but with the same sort of impact. Then the digital shit that stacks on top of it, like what you just said, like we're in this era where like you can pull from the Legend of Zelda OST, and that's its own subgenre that exists. There's a universe of people that may have attacked that from the perspective of like speaking like esoteric nonsense for fucking 4 minutes straight, or talking about fucking like wiping the block out with a street sweeper, and it could go in either direction. Like, you can hear the first like 4 bars and not know where that shit is going at all.
That's so real, man. It's fucking real.
It's chaotic. It's the algorithm. It is all of this shit just like coexisting and fucking like taking up cognitive space, bro.
And like, as wild as it is, it's hard not to be in awe of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it really is hard not to be in awe of it. Cause like, dude, we like on some fucking Joker shit. Like we live in a society, bro. Like, this is making crazy fucking shit. You know?
Yeah, absolutely. And it's a call to action, low key, in this period. To me, like, yeah, we got so much shit that we could be making, and so much interesting technology. Now, the ethics of said technology is obviously always up for debate,
of course,
but like the ways in which we use what we have at our disposal could be beautiful, could be
life changing, dude.
Exactly. And you know, maybe for some they have been so far, but I think that there's a whole underbelly of society that doesn't understand or doesn't have access to, or is not pointed towards taking advantage of these things in the same way that you would make the argument that like, yo, a lot of people don't have a library card. And it's like, you should have a library card. Like 100%. It's not even on some like
Arthur shit.
you know, like wagging my finger. It's just like, nah, bro. Like, it would be lit if you had a library card. Like,
it's just an advantage to your life. You don't like you're only gaining out of this situation. All things considered.
Exactly,
you know?
exactly. And I feel like if we're gonna push society, like we need to be pushing towards those generative points of access.
That's how I know I'm on my fucking like old head shit. Cause like, bro, back in the GameStop days, the amount of times that like it was in a mall, right? And the amount of times that like the youth would come in just like on some fucking hooligan shit, and I'd be behind the counter, I'd be like, you know what's actually cool? Y'all should go to the library and check out the manga section. Like, all right, man, like settle the fuck down. Bro. But like, it's real though, you know? Like that is the shit that I think should be important and should be talked about and should be pushed. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. Nah, dude. Like you know, like I said, like I have experience as a teaching artist, and like a lot of times, like going into like classes and like talking to the kids, like one of the first things they ask me is like, "Yo, what anime do you watch?" And I'm like, I'm so glad you asked. Like,
fucking, you know?
Like, you know what I mean? Because I'm like, okay, like not only is this very much like a dope thing that I can, you know, relate to them, but also like I can then get into the deeper implications of like, okay, this is what story structure looks like. This is what characterization looks like. This is what the idea of a meta narrative looks like. This is how you play into the weaknesses and strengths of the protagonist. How are you going to put them through that dark night of the soul? Like getting into all of those questions with them. And it's like they can figure it out naturally because they're into the stuff. And like I have a knowledge of it. And that world building thing and being able to like, I'll get into an argument with like a 13-year-old about power scaling for like 20 minutes, you know? And they're just like, okay, like Saitama, right? Or Chainsaw Man. And I'm like, damn, that's actually a good one. That's a good, like, I don't know. That's so kind of tough.
Oh man, it kills me because like it's so real. Like I feel I'm 24, right? I feel I exist right in a perfect divide of like understanding the youth and becoming old. You know what I mean? Like the amount of times that like I'd be talking with like parents or some shit and they're like, I just don't know like how to get through to him. Like I feel there's such a disconnect, blah, blah, blah. And then I look at little homie playing Pokemon and I'll be like, is that a shiny Garchomp? Shit, that's what's up, bro. And then like just like that, you know?
They're just like, oh wow.
And then instantly just like that, like I'm chopping it up with him and it's like, it's oh man, this is such a crazy fucking conversation. This is some nut shit, dude. And like, oh man, it's one of those ones too where like I cannot stress enough, if y'all listening to this podcast right now think we're fucking waffling, go and listen to this album and everything, it's gonna click for you. You're gonna come back to this and you'll be like, oh word, this actually makes a lot of sense and has a lot of context. Yeah. It's crazy, man. It's crazy. It's crazy.
Yeah, but do you want to throw them a bone? Is there any like any like structural things we need to do?
I said at the beginning that I didn't really like editing these, but I will edit this out if you want. Do you want to talk about the two different versions of the albums and kind of the idea behind that, or do you still want to leave it with the veil on it, for lack of a better term?
No, I can talk about it. We can talk about it.
Bet. Cool.
Yeah.
So going into this, like I was telling you earlier, I first listened to the album on the Bandcamp release, which for lack of a better term is like the true ending. Like, you know what I mean? Like the more raw, unfiltered, not only sonically, but thematically as well. Like there's, I believe 4 extra tracks on it because the streaming version starts on Ghost, right? Yeah. So behind that, like getting into the whole thing, I guess we kind of have to pull the veil off where there's Nakama and then there's Prim, the primitive, what does it stand for again, sorry?
Primitive calculus.
Primitive calculus, yeah. Where Prim is Nakama's AI, where even on the middle of the album, in the interlude, like Nakama gets signed. Like you get signed to the 9-2.
Yeah, 9-2C.
Yeah, 9-2C. And they're talking about like, oh, like do what you normally do, just filter it through this AI. The AI will do the rest, make it dope, make it ill, and then go from there. So the Bandcamp version, the true version, is what the album actually is, and then the streaming version is like the cleaned up, marketable, AI primitive calculus filtered album, right?
So kind of. So it's the 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 version on Bandcamp is the true version, but it's the most consistent with Lester's vision of the album. If there were like a mastered version of that album on his hard drive, that's the one that he would have uploaded.
Yeah.
And the version that went up for streaming was Prim making the conscious decision to say, I'm not going to implicate anybody in anything because I want my friend's work to be heard. So I'm going, so what's being pushed out is like not so much cleaned up, but more so like pulled back because Prim knew like this is not going to go over well. This thing over here is not going to go over well. Yeah,
100%.
So yeah,
like,
that's
the
basically
thing,
how
the
it
train
was.
heist, which
Yeah,
like feels very much so like, oh, we just robbed some shit. Like we just hit a fucking lick, you know?
yeah.
You ever play Cyberpunk 2077?
Yeah, for sure.
It's some cyberpunk shit. Like y'all motherfuckers just hit Arasaka Tower. Like it's getting fucking serious, right?
Exactly.
And I think it's really cool, like the little subtle differences here and there. Like one of the big ones I noticed is on My Turn, right? Where not only are you rapping in a more like, first of all, you rap in so many different like registers and like voices that it's a little bit hard to follow, where it's like, oh, is this the same person rapping? Is this the same character, the same entity rapping? Which is like fucking crazy. And then on My Turn, like right at the beginning, Prim's vocalization says like, I'm tired. And then it goes into you, and it's like, all right, this isn't Prim anymore. This is just straight Nakama. Then on the streaming version, you don't hear that. And you're rapping in a much more like controlled, for lack of a better term, kind of way. And there's a lot of moments on like, oh, it's so fucking crazy. Like, it's so crazy, dude. And like, how do you think of this shit?
Oh man,
it's nuts.
Honestly, the whole veil out the window at this point.
Yeah,
so
fuck it.
I mean, I think people would have figured it out by now. But
and thank you for overall being willing to do that as well, because I know that appreciate you.
Totally. No. It's like, okay, my thing is like I think of all of the creative work as it's all a performance. The whole thing is a performance. Like me being on social media is like, that's a persona, you know? It's like, I mean, it's me, but it's a persona just because it's not like if you don't know me personally, there's like so much shit that's omitted. Like in the same way that if you were on Instagram, you wouldn't necessarily like take a selfie while you were taking a shit. I mean, some people do that, but again, like no shade. No shade. It's just like some things are omitted. So like in terms of like how that plays out for me in the world building part is like I recently, you know, I'm like sort of like reconciling with like ADHD and like what that means for like how I organize my thoughts. And I've been able to identify more of like, that's an intrusive thought. That's a thought that is worth exploring, but maybe not in this context or maybe not in this moment. Maybe that's something that should be better as a conversation or as a question. And like being able to like create that hierarchy for myself, like after, you know, a long time of just kind of like, I would just go, you know, like that's why morning meditation sounds like how it sounds, is because like I was just writing. I was like existing in that moment. Whereas like with this process, it's become a lot more organized. And in that organization, I also acknowledge that like there are a lot of different perspectives and ways of like looking at these things that I'm talking about. So I need voices for them. And I need those voices to represent something in the real world. So like 92C is, you know, 92C for all intents and purposes is like, you know, maybe it's a little on the nose, but it's like how far is that from the YSL thing?
Yeah,
like
yeah.
of like having a Rico case and wanting to rebrand and move towards something that looked like it was more palatable. Now, did that
Mhm.
happen with YSL? I don't think so. But
Not really.
in the universe that I was writing, they were trying to
It did.
pivot. So
It did. Yeah,
so
absolutely.
you know, so like
Because I think you got,
that's
for me, I got the vibe where 92C was. You ever play Fallout 4?
yeah,
I got the vibe that and 92C was kind of like the railroad in that sense, where it was like
yeah,
some underground shit, like hackers. Like I can feel like in my brain, I'm on some fucking Spectrum shit where like I walk into the base and I can see like the different cast of characters. I can see
yes,
one motherfucker on the computer hacking and shit. I can see like
yeah,
Prim in its own chamber. I can see like the main dude being like, all right, here's what the fuck's going down. We're gonna make some
yeah,
dope
yeah,
music while we're also at this club doing some other shit. Like, you know what I
yeah,
mean?
yep, yep,
And the
yeah,
fact
yeah,
that
for
you're
sure.
able to convey that through an interlude is like, what the fuck? Oh, it's crazy. It's crazy.
I definitely appreciate that. Yeah, the dystopian influence is like that was the premise of the original like
Mhm.
production treatment that I had written, was just like trying to think of it as like what would be the world that I would want to illustrate if I were going to make something like, a comic.
Mhm. Mhm.
And if that's the case, then like, yeah, what are the factions?
Yeah.
What are the political conflicts?
Mhm.
Who got beef with who? Like,
Yeah. What's
and
the
you just start
currency?
asking all those questions. Yeah, exactly. And then before you know it, you've got this whole like cast of characters. And
Yeah. Yeah.
I was definitely like trying to tap into that as much as possible and like reflect it sonically too, so it
Mhm.
wasn't just like
Mission success, to say the fucking least.
yeah,
Mission
I
success,
appreciate
bro.
it.
Absolutely, man. Oh, like it's so crazy. It's because like even with this thing, you can take it at just like a straight surface level and not really pay attention to the world building, the greater things going on, and it's
Yeah,
still a
yeah.
dope fucking album. Like, you know what I mean? Like it's
Yeah.
crazy, dude.
Nah, I appreciate that.
Mm-hmm,
That was like for real. That was my secondary goal. Like,
mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
I started producing before I started rapping,
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
and like, I don't know. I think it shows
It does.
because yeah, like the way that I approach it is just very
Methodical.
like idiosyncratic. It's just like super idiosyncratic. It's like, okay, there's only like this one little weird loop part that you chose
Mm-hmm,
to use that then gets extended and turned into like a whole like 3-4 minute song.
mm-hmm,
Like being able to like do that in kind of like my own cadence,
mm-hmm.
knowing that like the where all the stops are and where I can like accentuate, like I'll put my s's on the same parts that the cymbals hit, and like
Yes,
little shit like
yes.
that like you don't really notice it until like the fifth, sixth, seventh time you listen to the song. You're like, wow, it's kind of like it's really neurotic of you.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Like,
Yeah, trust me,
so,
bro. Because I
so
feel from a producer brain, the lyrics are just like the vocal. It's just another instrument, right? And
yeah,
like you
yeah,
want it to really fit into the whole. Like any motherfucker can go fucking Chief Keef type beat on YouTube and then just start going
yeah,
crazy. But like when you're
yeah,
really building this thing from the ground up, you can hear the polish and you can hear the like. It sounds rough and chaotic at times, but you know it's completely intentional that
yeah,
it's rough
yeah,
and chaotic, you know? And like,
yeah.
oh, it's so fucking cool, man. It's so fucking cool, dude.
I
Yeah,
appreciate that.
100%.
Definitely do.
Um, honest to God, I don't think there's like too much else that I wanted to get. Like I said, maybe we could do a track by track breakdown, but I feel like we'd be talking until like literally 7 in the morning if we did that.
Oh yeah, 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 dude.
Yeah.
I'm not even gonna hold you. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Fuck, there was one thing. On my I gotta pull up the lyrics. I gotta pull up the lyrics because there was
All right,
something that literally made me like fucking pause in my tracks and be like, "Oh, this nigga different." Actually,
bet.
it was um try at work until you can't arrive at work. Cross the line, we can see what you care about. The cries cursed. A phosphorus fight stir. They throwing more
They
flair to the
throwing more
crowd,
to
but
West
putting it in
Cal, but put
Christ
it in
terms.
Christ terms. Uh
What are you like? What?
huh.
What? And it.
Bro, so like oh, I'm sorry, but what's so crazy about that was like I wrote that I wrote that track, and then maybe like 4 or 5 days later
Mhm.
was when those reports started going out that Israel had used white phosphorus. And I was just
Word.
like, what the actual fuck? Like, and it like
Yeah.
it just blew my mind. And I was like, not only is that like none of this changing, like
Mhm.
whatever form that this song takes, like it has to just be this. Like, so
Absolutely.
I wrote that shit. Yeah. So it was like early 2023.
Mhm.
And like when I finalized it, and I was just like, damn, it's still to this day, like there's just more. There's more
Mhm.
layers of
Mhm.
it have been kind of added on to.
Absolutely.
But yeah, yeah, like your values. That's what that
Mhm.
piece of that is referring to. Just like what is it that you're ascribed to your values, and how long does it take for you to like turn into a crusader?
Mhm.
How long
Mhm.
does it take for you to like start doing foul shit in the name of something that should be, in some
Virtuous.
ways like virtuous or and otherwise just generative? Like,
Mhm.
is
Mhm.
it, are you going in and convincing people that they're going to be saved and actually saving them, or are you taking advantage of them and fucking like
Yeah.
controlling them?
Exploiting them a
Are
la
you
the church.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly,
Yeah.
exactly.
Oh my God.
Which is why the whole like 9-2C the clergy thing was the
Mhm.
overarching name, because it was like I don't, like religion has been a huge thing that I've wrestled with, in my
Mhm.
life. And
Mhm.
I think like a lot of people do, when you kind of like have to question like whether or not you believe the thing that you're exposed to, or whether
Mhm.
you're going to go look for an alternative, or whether you
Yes.
don't believe in it at all. But
Mhm.
more
Mhm.
often than not, when it comes to like the Christian church,
Mhm.
I've found that it tends to be a lot more violent.
Absolutely.
Like
Absolutely.
historically speaking, and also in its
In
practice,
nature, you
like
know?
yeah,
Like
yeah,
how as like a big thing, not to air my own personal shit out, but like I'm my family's from the Dominican Republic.
yeah,
Very Christian country. Like we were born, like at least me, I was born going to church every Sunday type shit, blah blah blah. And
yeah.
like I knew I was queer from a pretty young age. So like how
Mm,
was I as a young queer person gonna go and, subscribe to that? And then I
yeah,
start to
yeah.
unpack and I think about like how Christianity was used not just as a figurative weapon, but a literal weapon against my
Mhm,
ancestors, my lineage, whatever. How can I agree with
yeah,
that? And then my father wrestling with that, and like now he's on like some neck shit. Like he's Chinese as fuck, low key. That boy practices feng
yeah.
shui and shit. And it's like, I wish I was
Yo,
kidding.
real.
And like, it's crazy because like in 4 lines, you just dissected that whole fucking thing. Like, it's crazy, man. And like, I'm not even trying to glaze. Your pen on this project is fucking insane. Like, it's fucking insane, dude.
Thank you,
Yeah.
dog.
I think
I appreciate that.
what this boils down to is if you haven't heard Everything Burns, if you haven't heard both versions, listen to the Bandcamp version first, take it in, digest it,
Yep,
go and listen to the streaming version, take it in, and then go back to the Bandcamp version. Crazy. It's
yep,
it's
yep.
next fucking level, man. And like genuinely, like, thank you so much for sitting down with me and talking about this, because this has been something that I've just been nonstop just replaying in my head, man. It's
Hell
crazy.
yeah,
It's crazy.
hell yeah.
Yeah. Um, I guess,
Thank you for having me,
yo,
for real.
pleasure is all mine, dog. Real life. Real I was we like we've been mutuals on Twitter for a little bit now with
Yeah.
fucking I remember we had one interaction where we were talking about like rappers as like fucking RPG archetypes.
Yes,
And yeah.
yes.
And like I was like, you're like
That's
the
such a
fucking
good bit, bro.
I think it's fucking incredible personally. Like it because it makes
So
sense,
good.
you know? And
Mhm,
like
mhm.
when I think I described you as like a two-handed swordsman who uses like elemental weapon buffs and shit. That
Yeah,
is
yeah.
the best way I can describe it, because it is just like fucking death by 1,000 cuts, elemental magic. Crazy,
Yeah,
crazy, dude.
definitely
Um,
on some like Elden Ring,
type
pole
shit.
arm, black flame,
Type
cyclone situation.
um, it's funny because the image that we're using is from Dark Souls 3. you know the dancers twin
Yeah,
consorts. That's kind
yeah,
of the
with
vibe.
the yeah,
Yeah, like one with
yeah,
the
for
fire and
sure.
the dark. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yup,
yeah.
yup,
You get it.
yup.
You just get it, bro. Oh man. I guess the last question I want to ask is just like, do you have any specific favorite moments on the album or anything that you think someone might have missed out on the first few listens? Anything that you want to draw attention to that people should really be taking in? Because there's a lot of moments. There's a lot of moments.
Yeah, there are. I almost don't want to like isolate one because like
Fair.
I don't want to like you know sell anything short in the non-linear linearity of it.
Yeah,
you know,
absolutely.
like
Yeah,
because these all of the moments kind of connect in a lot of ways. So I would say, but I'll say this. I think where the roots sever, low key, just personally, I'm like, that's just, I don't know. You do dirt, we drop a C's push point centers, who move first? Ain't that the dilemma? Like,
Crazy.
I just feel like if you haven't heard the album, maybe just go to that one, see if you fuck with it. Because if you fuck with that, chances are, whichever direction it goes, whether it be the more abrasive experimental shit or the more traditional shit, you're probably gonna like it.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
So yeah.
I would say for me, if someone can listen to Ghost and if they fuck with that, then like, oh my, like tap in with the discography, bro, not just the album. Like go back to the whole thing, bro. Like
that part.
God.
That part.
It's crazy. Genuinely, like I feel like I say this about all of my guests, but I don't bring people on the show whose music I don't incredibly fuck with. This is one of my favorite releases, not just of this year, but like genuinely of all time. Like, it's crazy, dude. It's crazy. I don't like, I mean this in the best way possible. I don't know what the fuck is wrong with you. You know what I mean?
I've heard that question quite a few times, dog. I'm not gonna hold you.
Trust me. Yeah, it's incredible, man. And I think this is just a good place to wrap it. Anything, closing statements or anything you want to leave the listener with?
Nah, we got more work to do as always. You know, a lot of the other cognitive conduits out there that are tapped in and connected. You know, we've had conversations about many things and many things moving. So look forward to all the offerings for the rest of this year and next year. There's a lot of shit happening. And yeah, shout out to being true to your artistry, to yourself, to your beliefs, to your community, and to making sure that you stay prepared for whatever
the fuck happens.
Yeah, you know,
keep some non-perishables in the crib, man. Like,
nah,
you know?
facts. And like, it's love. There's always love.
For real, for fucking real, man. And once again, thank you so much for coming on the show, bro. I appreciate it. I know a lot of my listeners were looking forward to this one. And to the people who aren't tapped in, I hope that this convinces them to tap in. You're fucking stupid if you don't tap in, by the way. Like, come on, man. Come on. Yeah, dope. I like also closing the episodes out with just like a little snippet from one of the songs off the album.
Yeah.
So if you were to choose a song off of the album, both the streaming or the Bandcamp, what do you think I should play here?
Ooh, hunting season.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm working on the video right now. So
yes, sir. Right on. Dope. Do you want to do Bandcamp or streaming?
Bandcamp.
Bad. Cool. So thank you guys for listening to the AUXPodcast. Thank you, Nakama, for coming on. Everyone, go and listen to Everything Burns. Go and listen to Umbergo. Go and listen to Kindling. Go and listen to Human Error. Go and listen to Morning Meditations. Go and listen to the 9 fucking I don't know how to pronounce it.
Hohenheim's Burning.
That's the one. Hohenheim's Burning, man.
All right. Real quick. Just to let you know, primitive calculus is burden. That's all I'm gonna say. All I'm gonna say.
Oh, that's gonna be fucking crazy. Oh, that's gonna be fucking crazy. Oh, that got yes. Okay, let me I'm gonna close this fucking bullshit out. Hold on, let me fucking.
Whole lot of sacrifices. Sacrifices. Whole lot of sacrifices. Sacrifices for what? Whole lot of sacrifices. Sacrifices. Whole lot of sacrifices.